Them who are CPA head of accounts and others are accountants. You know, when you notice inaccuracies, these are some of the basic errors that even a first-year accounting class student cannot commit. So the question is, do your officers have capacity to do their job, or they have capacity but they don't want to do it, which will become a dereliction of duty? And if they derelict the duty, Governor, then we'll invite the ISPAC to cite them for professional misconduct, because these inaccuracies, Governor, if through the chair, if it had been resolved at the point of audit, we would not be, you have a number of them, I think more than 8, which indicate inaccuracies that this certificate of the OAG report has indicated to. So my only concern is through the chair, maybe later we'll put it to the Governor, whether the officers who are supposed to be doing this job have the capacity and ability. If they have, yes, then they are derelicting the duty. Then the committee should pronounce consequences as you have directed.
Senator Wambua, you could go on record. We did the introductions.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Enoch Wambua, Senator, Kitui County, and a member of this committee. Chair, if you allow me, I'll just comment on that inaccuracy. I have just started and gone through, just perused through the document. There are too many inaccuracies, Chair. It can only point to one thing, maybe lack of capacity, or a deliberate attempt by people to do things not right. Because these inaccuracies cannot just be a coincidence. I thank you, Chair.
Governor, do you share our concern?
Chair, before the Governor, sorry to take you back. Now, OAG, you have said it. Report is concerned. And if you clearly say there was no loss of fund, and yet evidences have not been presented to you to confirm that there was no loss of funds, what do you call it? Or how do you term that?
OAG?
Chair, I just talked of these inaccuracies only. I have not addressed the other parts of the report, just on the inaccuracies that we have referred to in the opinion part of the financial statements.
You see, OAG, your report, when I look at it, and even the public, when they look at it, they might expect that this committee is going to carry out surgery without anesthesia on the governor. But then you are telling us that this does not require surgery. This just requires a painkiller.
Then we don't have to be here, Chair. That is a position.
Yeah, because this is your report. And you are telling us he patia inaitwa brufen.
The report is...
That he peana brufen, he don't do a surgery.
Chair, the report is made up of 3 components.
No. We are still on the inaccuracies in financial statements.
Yes.
Because that's where the money is. That's where we are seeing numbers.
Yeah.
So hapo tupeane brufen on inaccuracies. Governor, what is your comment on this? Because we can go issue by issue, point by point. That's a surgery that perhaps Kenyans expect.
Thank you, Chair. And from the onset, I want to point out, Chair, that I also share the same concerns with the committee, because this is something that is done by a professional, people who have been trained in that particular area. And we don't expect to have inaccuracies. I've also discussed with my team, of course, there are excuses here and there. Transition from cash to accrual, I think, became a challenge to some of them. And that's why we are training and building their capacity so that we minimize on these errors. but that is not an excuse, Chair. So we'll take it and follow, and if I find somebody culpable, then we'll take administrative action against those fellows.
Governor, you have seen this report before. Were you involved in the audit exercise, the entry meetings, the exit meetings?
I was, Chair.
And you agreed, so if you are involved, and this report came to Nairobi with all these inaccuracies, then I might be convinced by what Senator Wambua is saying, that this could be a deliberate effort to mask pilferage of funds.
Chair, I was actively involved in the entire process of audit. When I also talk to my officers, I'm told there are things that you can't change in the books once they have been published, unless correction is done in the subsequent financial year. So if you see our responses, probably that's why our auditor was saying there is no loss of funds, but the way figures have been captured, they were captured wrongly. And I don't want to defend my officers. They should have done it right because they have been trained to do that.
No, we'll have to test some of those inaccuracies for us to confirm whether this is just a bookkeeping problem or there is something bigger underlying it. Senator Wambua.
Chair, my only concern then would be if the governor, and he has gone on record saying that he was involved from beginning to the end, so he is not confronting these statements now. He's seen them. And he's saying he will scrutinize, and if he finds that somebody did not do the right thing, he will take administrative action. I'm wondering, if he was speaking in good faith, he would be telling you, Chair, and this committee, that we went through this, and I realized that on inaccuracy number 5, employee name XYZ was responsible for this, and this is the administrative action that I have taken. Because he's not seeing these documents for the first time.
Yeah, so let's test one or two of these inaccuracies. Let's look at inaccuracy of employee costs. Something where there should never be an inaccuracy. You are paying through the payroll, and the figures in the payroll should tie with the figures in your financial statements. So, Auditor, can you read your finding on employee costs?
Thank you, Chair. Inaccuracy of employee costs. The statement of financial performance, and as disclosed in Note 7 of the financial statements, reflects employee costs amounting to 3,500,681,042 shillings. However, review of the payroll revealed employee costs totaling 3,515,184,562 shillings, resulting in an unexplained variance of 14,503,520. Monthly payroll reconciliations against payroll by products to validate the amounts and the number of staff paid were not carried out in the Human Resource Information System. In the circumstance, the accuracy and completeness of the employee costs amounting to 3.5 billion could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, what's your response?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, the amounts reported in the Statement of Financial Performance has now been justified by reconciliation of payroll data and payments made as per the notes to the financial statement. A reconciliation of payroll data and the schedule has been carried out and has been availed for audit verification, and this is annexed as Annex 221, that is payroll, ledgers, and reconciliation.
Auditor General, you've looked at that Annex 2.1. As you said, we are not doing the audit today. We are just doing verification.
Yes, Chair.
What is your opinion?
Chair, we've looked at it, and the management didn't amend the financial statements because they could not, so as to address the variance raised.
So what is the true cost?
And there were no monthly payroll reconciliations against payroll by products available for verification. So it's still an ongoing work.
What is a true employee cost? You've reported 3.500, but your payroll indicates 3.515. What is a true cost?
Chair, let me request my CC Finance to respond to that.
Thank you, Chair. The true cost of the employee payments is 3.500,681,041 and 54 cents.
But your payroll indicates 3.515. The payroll should be the source of truth.
That is the reconciled figure. It is 3.500.
How did you go back to reconcile the payroll?
We have the annexes, the schedules.
Auditor General, can you help us understand how that works? Because I believe that the payroll is the primary source of data, which should not be altered. You can alter the financials, but not the payroll. Auditor General, what's the assurance here?
Honorable Chair, what you are saying is the truth. That is the true position. The payroll, the compensation of employees can only be derived from the payroll. And in this case, the payrolls for the period that is under review, July 1st, 2024 to 30th June 2025, clearly indicated, and we broke down the figures to the management of the county, 3,515 million.
So
we still...
See, what other magic is this? You know, Sifuna will start telling you about the numbers that come from polling stations and the numbers that arrive at Bomas.
Chair, let me allow
the polling
CEO.
station numbers is what must apply. And the polling station in this case is a payroll. The numbers can't change at the financial statement. Senator Chirake, as they...
Maybe, Governor, why is, you say, you insist that your payroll is 3.5 billion, but after the audit was 3.515184562. Are there people that are paid outside the IPPD, maybe through impress, that is not on the payroll? Number one. Number two, on this variance, because 3.5 and 3.50 and 3.515, the variance of 14.5 million that has been indicated by the OAG, does it point, or let me just ask a basic question. How many employees do you have in your payroll? And I've seen, maybe Chair will go to that, I've seen it's 48% of the wage bill. How many are in the payroll, the employees? And then explain that clarity, whether there are people who are paid outside the IPPD, maybe through impressed, or what is this variance is bringing about? I yield back.
Senator Wambua?
Chair, maybe if this can be made clearer to the committee, are we talking about the same payroll here? Did the Office of the Auditor General review the same document that you reviewed, Governor? Or perhaps you looked at a different document? Because, Chair, I mean, if we are looking at the same document, I don't see how they arrive at two different figures. I mean, unless there are two payrolls. How do you look at one document, get 3,500,000,000, and then another person looking at the same document gets 3,515,000,000? Do we have two payrolls in Bomet?
Governor, there are the questions asked by Senator Chirake and Senator Wambua, but what we must agree on is what number, what is our working number?
Now I have my CEO Finance and CEO Public Service. They're able to clarify on the numbers. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. The reconciled figure is 3.5. That is the true figure If you check annexure 2.1, 2.1 in our annexures, there is a reconciliation provided to yes, to correct the.
So, Chief Officer, tell us how you reconcile a payroll. If in the payroll you spend 3.515, how do you reconcile it? Does it mean that some employees refund the 15 million in question?
Chair, we have provided the payroll product that indicates 3.290. In addition, we have supported with the ledgers that also indicates the salary arrears that was paid. If you look at the annexure number 2.1, there were also accrued deductions. That is the reconciliation. That makes now the 3.5.
Why wasn't this done when the auditor was looking at these books? Because I've made it clear we are not doing the audit today. The audit is already done. Why wasn't this reconciliation done at that point in time? What is this new information that you received after the audit?
Chair, we have noted inaccuracy, and this can only be corrected on this reconciliation in the next subsequent reporting.
No, it's not about the next period, because you are insisting that the 3.500 in the financial statement is correct. So there's nothing to correct in the financial statement. Are we, Meshach, what is there for them to correct in the financial statements if they insist that it was 3.500?
They've not yet satisfied us in explaining